Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Oyoyo Sword. On today's video, I'll be talking about YouTube copyright and things you need to know. So guys, if this topic is what you're interested in, stay tuned and don't go anywhere, and I'll be right back. I discussed a few points on my previous video, the do's and don'ts on YouTube about reused content. So if you haven't watched that, please don't forget to go back to the last video and watch the things you need to know about reused content on YouTube. When we talk about copyright, the copyright protects the originator of the content. For example, if you're a musician and you wrote a song or you performed a song, you have the sole right to enjoy any benefit that comes out from that song. Whereby your music is being used by others without your permission, you have every legal right to sue. So guys, stay tuned to find out all you need to know about copyright infringement, content ID, and how to avoid any of them happening, because the end result will be YouTube deleting your account and preventing you from ever having anything to do with content creation on YouTube. So why is YouTube so serious about copyright? In 2007, YouTube was sued for about $1 billion by a company because 160,000 content creators used part of their clips, their videos, their materials to produce their own videos. So this was the originator of all the rules and regulations YouTube is putting in place to protect the content creator and as well as protect themselves. I'll be talking about two kinds of copyrights. The first one will be in the music copyright and as well as the content, the content copyright. Let's assume I did I produced a video and someone came and downloaded my video and used my video in their own channel without my permission. I have a right. And another example will be if I did my video and I used someone's music as my background music without permission to use that. That is another copyright issue. So guys, let's continue. So why am I picking these two topics to discuss today? Because basically YouTube is usually about videos, and to make it more appealing to our audience, we do have some background music to use to make the video interesting, whereby there are some idle moments, the background music will keep the audience going. So because of the 2007 lawsuit against YouTube by Vcom, YouTube then created Content ID. I know you'll be asking what is Content ID. We are going to be breaking them down, detail by detail for you to be able to understand what Content ID is. Content ID is a system YouTube invested in, and it has over 75 million files which tracks and identifies any music we upload on YouTube. And what does it do? So once you upload a video, this particular Content ID is going to track that video to see if the video is your original content and if the music is what you have right to use, and whereby you don't have right to use any of those, the system will automatically alert the content owner, which is the originator, the real person that owns that music or the real person that owns that particular content, that content is in use. Once that is done, the content owner has right over his music, that's his work, over his written materials, over his content, for those that download other people's content to use for their own videos. So do know this. The Content ID is going to track and identify where the source of that video is coming from. And once it's done, they are going to notify the real owner. Yeah, you heard me right. The real owner of that content. Then once the owner is notified, the owner has rights over those music. Do remember that. The content owner has the right to three major things. So is either he blocks the video, that means there will be no view, your video is taken down, or secondly, he will monetize that video and any revenue that comes from ads that played on that video goes to the owner of that music or owner of that content. The third one is that the owner of the original owner of that music has the right to track the video, and as well the viewership, the data of the viewership of that video. But what I noticed here in all the research I did, most of the original content creators, they wouldn't even bother with you. They would just monetize the video. So if the video is revenues, guys, you're making money for the person. So you have to think twice before you use any music on YouTube that you do not have permission to use. So my advice on this would be utilize the YouTube library, music library, for all your music. Or if you have an app that you're using to do your videos, find out free music you can use to avoid all this stress. Trust me, guys. So guys, another thing we need to know about Content ID, it does not give you the right to dispute any notice you got from YouTube. It doesn't, because that particular content is in dispute and definitely is not yours. That's why somebody is disputing it. So what YouTube will do, if you dispute that particular notice you got from YouTube, they are going to send a notice to the original content owner, which he has 30 days to respond. And within that 30 days for him to respond, YouTube is going to put a hold on that particular video, and every revenue you receive that is being received on that particular video will be held for that 30 days to allow the time for the owner of the music to respond to your dispute. So it's not your right, you don't have any right to dispute, but whereby you decide to dispute, they are going to notify the owner of the music, give the person 30 days to respond, and every revenue generated will be put on hold pending the time. So guys, my advice once again is going to be to avoid all of this stress and then making money on your video or your channel for another person. Why not use free music? You can check out YouTube library for all the music they have you can use. You can also check out the app you're using. They have tons of free music you can use from the apps as well. So guys, the next thing I'll be talking about today will be copyright infringement. Yeah, what do I mean by copyright infringement? Okay, the simple definition of it. So you're infringing on someone's right, someone's intellectual right, anything intellectual property right. So let's look at it that way. I don't want to get into the legal terms of it so we don't get confused. So basically that's what it means. You are infringing, you're like crossing the line. So I'll be talking about copyright infringement notices. What do I mean by that? Once you upload any content that is not originally yours, and if there is any copyright already notified to YouTube about that particular content, and you upload content about that you don't have the right to do, YouTube is going to send you a notice automatically. You're going to receive a notice from YouTube, and the notice is that this video has been pulled down. There is copyright infringement on this particular video. So YouTube has the right to automatically do what? Take down the video. Period. I know it's crazy, right? They will take down the video because you don't have the right to use that content and you are using that. So they will take down that video. The notice they are going to send to you is to let you know that someone has already, filed a copyright infringement on what you have just uploaded, and YouTube has the absolute right to take down that video. So once the video is taken down, that means a copyright strike for you. And once you receive 3 strikes within 90 days, YouTube will do what? Will delete your channel, automatically delete your channel. You wake up in the morning, you will not find your channel. You will search any angle, you can't find it. And not only that, once your channel is deleted, it means that you will not be able to get into YouTube anymore with your name, with your email. You're not allowed to YouTube. It's like terminating the contract between you and YouTube permanently. So why go through that route? Why not go the simple way of using some free music to do your video, or checking out a particular content you want to use to find out if there is anything like license common on those videos. Do remember, in this YouTube partnership with content creators, they have the absolute right to terminate your channel if you violate their policy. So guys, I hope you've been able to get 1 or 2 things on today's video about copyright infringement, content ID, especially for monetize our account. Guys, we should take this thing so seriously and not to joke with them. Another thing I want to discuss here is the legal aspect of it. It does not just end within you and YouTube and the content owner. They might decide to take it to courts, especially for countries where the rule of law works supreme. And I tell you, it's not cheap. You might be fined up to $100,000, jail time, or both. So to avoid going to jail for using somebody's content and to avoid the fine of $100,000, let's utilize free music. I hope you've been able to learn one or two things from today's video. And if you do, please leave me on the comment section if you want me to continue to discuss about the tips about YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe and turn on your post notification bell to receive my videos whenever I post them. I do thank you guys.